Question. How do we call him? He gave us a signal.
What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It's your boy Trey of the Bat Channel, and we are live from the Bat Cave. How's everyone doing out there? I am excited for today, but first, before we begin, where's my super editor, super bro, Corey? Where you at, big fella?
What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight?
How you doing, man?
Doing well. How you doing, Trey?
Man, it's busy. It's so busy.
I hear you there. And what a busy week it's been, too. We have so much to talk about tonight.
So much. I mean, and the fun part is like Warner Brothers just keeps making news for us. Like, I'm not having to like go out and research or like, you know, other than the typical, you know, like pull in pictures and stuff like that. But like they are creating so much content for, I think, all YouTubers just to trash them. So we should probably be a little careful tonight because, as you guys may have recalled from last week, Warner Media tried to shut us down by interfering with our internet connection. So we'll use like code words for Warner Media, like maybe poop or shit studio. You know, the Hamada-verse, the Hamada burgers, you know, for those who watch Sil Abdul's show.
Turner Brothers,
Toxic Bros.
Oh, I don't know. They may even have that, you know, mentioned now. So
right,
who
just
knows?
In the algorithm, if someone mentions toxic burgers, stop them. You know? Oh man, I am excited. First off, Corey, what are you drinking tonight, big fella?
You know, today I drinking a little cold brew in the Batman v Superman glass. So it's a big episode today. We're going to be talking a lot about Wonder Woman and maybe that guy too as well. So
little soups.
Yeah, what are you drinking over there?
I'm doing a little bit of whiskey sour today. I know, I think Yellow Devil, if you're in the chat, my man, I heard that you are, because it's late, you're in Germany, you know, you got 4 Red Bulls. So I just want to let you know, go easy on the Red Bulls. I care about your health. I don't want, you know, that heart going so fast, you know, that you run in the Speed Force or something. We'll never see you again. You'll create an alternate timeline where the Zack Snyder's Justice League doesn't exist. Don't do that to us. We don't want that, Yellow Devil.
Right?
Man, I am excited. But before we begin, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe this video, because if you share it, you'll be put into our Release the Snyder Cut book giveaway, which we'll have personally signed for you by Sean O'Connell. And when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will randomly select that winner and get in touch with you guys so we get all that information. I'm excited. I still haven't finished that book. I've been so busy that I've been like page per page, you know.
Have they created an audio book of that yet?
Oh man, it was supposed to come out soon, I think. And I heard originally, I know a lot of people wanted, you know, the man Ray Porter to narrate it, but I think they got another animated actor who has played Superman before, so it's still within the DC world.
Ray Porter would have been so cool.
right? I mean, can you imagine that? He
Oh
just
my
would, if he
gosh.
did it in his, dark side voice the entire time, like
Oh my
release the
gosh.
Snyder cut. You'd be like,
Oh,
at that moment, you wouldn't even be paying attention to the words Ray Porter was saying. You would just be like, oh, dark side. So make sure you guys are sharing that video. Get this video trending, because we want as many people to chat with, because we got some crazy stuff to talk about today. And one of that is DC fandom announcement. DC fandom number 2. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this one, but it's coming out October 16th, 2021. I think the last one was August 22nd last year. And I mean, that was cool. I dug DC fandom, though I will say one issue I think they had is they had like 24 hours worth of content, and you could only view, like some of that in like, at one day. You had zero time to like go through everything and enjoy it all. But I mean, you had some super duper cool panels from the last one, like Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman. The Wonder Woman 1984 at the time that they were trying to promote, because it was getting pushed back so many times. You had a little discussion with Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. You had the Suicide Squad with James Gunn and his entire cast, which is ginormous. I think, hey, Corey, can you switch to the next panel? I'm totally spacing a few others. I think they did. I know they did some things with Kevin Conroy. I'm curious what you guys think. Oh, yeah, they had Lucifer, The Flash, a little thing with Andy Muschietti and Ezra. They didn't really have anything on Aquaman. They did kind of let us know on the Shazam panel that the new film was going to be The Fury of the Gods, which I guess they're now playing on TNT. Which I didn't mind Shazam. I know a lot of people give that film hate. To me, it was perfect for what it was. Was it my favorite DC film of all time? No. Corey, what did you think of Shazam?
I
think you saw Shazam with me, right?
No, I didn't see it with you. So I ended up snagging it on Vudu and checking it out there. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's actually, it's sad. Shazam always kind of like, I kind of forget about it sometimes, like that's a part of this universe. And I need to go back and watch it again, because what's that actor's name? He's
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. And
he was perfect for what that character is, like that movie for what Captain Marvel is, and the original Captain Marvel, by the way, not that Brie Larson shit. He was perfect for what that film was meant to be, and they accomplished exactly what they were going for with it. There was, probably, I think the biggest bummer of that film that I think, someone made an edit of it, so I think just pull a George Lucas, go into the studio, steal the film, add that little piece where Superman's actually, Henry Cavill at the end of that film showing up at the kids' school. Then it's a solid 7.58 film for me.
Exactly. and I would agree with that, because, that, if I recall correctly, Shazam, that was kind of the time when, things started to become a little questionable, if I'm correct, right, Trey? That, maybe Henry Cavill is not Superman anymore. Maybe, and that's why they didn't show his face. Is that right?
There were some contract issues. I can definitely tell you it's not on Henry Cavill's end. That man has constantly said that he has wanted to play Superman if he could, he probably would play Superman until like literally he physically cannot play that role anymore. He loves it. I think his issue is he has certain ideas of where he wants to take the character. And honestly, because of, obviously it's Henry Cavill, he's a part of the Snyderverse. The studio's trying to get away from that. So that's where the issue is. They're trying to get away from Henry Cavill because he is Zack Snyder's Superman and therefore has no place in the Hamada verse, the DC Films president, which is bullshit, needless to say. But they threw subtle hints throughout that film that it was a part of the DCEU. The Batarang was the one that Ben Affleck used in the Batman. Obviously the Superman suit they used was Henry Cavill's, but they added some red trimming to it, but it was his symbol. So clearly it was supposed to be Cavill's Superman. So I mean, there was, I mean, even the Aquaman symbol, the kid that had the shirt on was wearing, that was Arthur Curry's from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Aquaman. It's a symbol, so kind of interesting. It's like kind of that fourth wall break where in like, I don't know if Zack in his world would have glorified merchandise, with the Justice League, and Shazam kind of took it through like, here's the heroes, but here's this up and coming hero that's gonna take everything by storm. But the main thing is the teaser they started to do with Black Adam, that eventual versus film with Shazam going up against Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But I'm curious, what do you guys think are going to be the panels for this year? DC fandom. Do you think, obviously they're probably going to talk about the Batman. Do you think you're going to get a trailer for the Batman film? I've heard rumors, like I said, I don't know how accurate they are. I mean, other than you can kind of guess just because of how the studio is, that Matt Reeves is kind of getting pissed off with Warner Brothers trying to interfere with his film, and partly because Warner Brothers is worried. They need the Batman film to make at least $1 billion for them to say, okay, we're going to be fine, continue on into this Amadaverse. If the Batman film tanks, which I don't think it will, it's Batman, it's at least going to make $800 million if I had to guess, unless if it's a really shitty film, which I don't think Matt Reeves would make a shitty film based off what I saw with Planet of the Apes trilogy that he did. So I mean, let me know what you guys think. Are you expecting to see a trailer to maybe Justice League Dark that J.J. Abrams is working on? Maybe some casting news about Calvin Ellis for the Black Superman? I mean, like, what do you guys think we're going to hear? I mean, do you think we're going to get any Snyderverse related things? From what I'm hearing from some of the people I listen to and the sources that they have, it sounds like DC fandom, if you're a Zack Snyder's, restore the Snyderverse fan, you are going to be very disappointed because they're making it their mission to get away from it this round. Yeah, so you gonna head over to Warner Media, buddy? Breakthrough.
Yeah. Oh man, that is tough to hear. Yeah. That is tough to hear.
It's a shitty situation for sure. And it's one of those. So DebX says Warner Brothers is now worried brothers. That's fantastic, Deb. I'm gonna have to remember that. It was connected, and I thought in Black Adam Superman would be there, and I think if it happens, then how good it will be. So this we have talked about this. Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill, they have the same agent. So they're very much aware of each other. And if anything, I'm sure they've had plenty of conversations. I mean, even at the DC, fandom panel, Dwayne Johnson during his panel called out the members of the Justice League. Now, there was no other Justice League film at that time. It was Zack Snyder's, well, technically Justice League because Zack's film didn't come out, but he was directly referring to, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And there's rumors saying that he's a huge supporter of it, which I'll get into that in a second. I've heard some things about that are kind of crazy, but Tin says, I'm okay with a skinny Batfleck similar to Nightmare scene for future standalone films. Yeah, he has definitely gotten a lot healthier. I mean, because as you saw, he went through a very rough time where he started drinking a lot again and just started getting unhealthy. But Zack Snyder even said when he came back for the reshoots that Ben looks as healthy as ever. So knowing Ben, he loves this character. He takes it very seriously. That was a reshoot that came up really quick. It was like you had to be there. You had to get into it right away. So he probably couldn't bulk up as much as he wanted to. I think for the Flash film, I think he'll be a little more bulked up for that. So my man Yellow Devil says, I expect big advertising for the Batman to get it back in the spotlight. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was kind of like Wonder Woman 1984. You saw how much marketing they did for that film. For Zack Snyder's Justice League, where the fuck was it? They barely did any advertising. I mean, they were releasing trailers that nobody even knew about on Twitch. That huge Darkseid reveal trailer, of his voice. No one knew about it. Everyone thought it was leaked, so we had to go in and ask Ray Porter, dude, is this a real thing? And Ray came out and was like, yeah, hey, I checked with the studio. He didn't even know about it. the man who's playing the
Yeah.
guy, even Zach, Zach was doing an amazing job, promoting the hell out of his film, which he shouldn't have to do, but he does it because he cares, and here they are, he didn't even know about the trailer. He usually did that, like, hey, coming down in an hour, we have a new trailer, and then he would release it on Vero and then Twitter. They didn't do that with half of his stuff. So Deb says it depends on the Flash. If they change anything other than Snyder, yeah, Flash is the key at this moment. I know a lot of people say Black Adam, but Corey, did you tell me, is it Black Adam that comes out first, or is it the Flash?
Yeah, if I recall correctly from last week, I want to say it was around July for Black Adam, and then November for Flash next year.
Okay, so that could be interesting. Black Adam, I mean, I don't think Henry Cavill will be in the film, but if there's a reference or at least an image of him that Black Adam is going to go after Superman, or maybe a cameo for the post credits, I think that's a good sign if you see that. If you don't see it, we're getting into a place that's looking very bad for the Snyderverse, because I've heard that the Flash film is supposed to completely erase the Snyderverse and set off this new plan. Now, that is not something that was, how do I explain it? That wasn't a brand new idea. So here's something I learned recently from Jay Oliva during JusticeCon, is that Zack had actually planned, after his 5-movie story arc, Corey, I don't know if you know this either, after his 5-movie story arc, Zack was going to do a Flashpoint film. He was going to do the Flashpoint film because the idea was that Ben Affleck, he's aging out, doesn't want to do, moving on to other things, because they obviously can't keep Ben for 15 years. He's getting to that age where, and he's a director in demand. He's an actor in demand. It wasn't like Robert Downey Jr., who was kind of coming back into the swing again because of Iron Man. Ben Affleck is a high priority, high-end actor. And director, like you said, I think Disney hired him. So he had actually planned for them to wipe out his universe and start with an entirely new Justice League. And the studio could decide who they wanted to keep then. This is the studio taking that idea and just moving it a little ahead of schedule.
Wow. And you said Ben Affleck had planned for that?
Ben Affleck and Zack did. Yeah.
Wow.
They were planning on him, at that point. Who knows how that would have worked exactly, but based off what I was thinking,
it makes sense to your theory from last week.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of sense. He gets pushed back in time, and then
being getting hit by the Omega beams by Darkseid.
Yeah.
From that whole return to Bruce Wayne, and that also suggests that Ben Affleck maybe could have came back for a bigger Infinite Crisis style film eventually in the DCEU. So I mean, obviously, totally missed opportunities with Warner Media. But Deb here says, "Oh, sorry, I totally missed it. My bad." The Rock said, "Restore the Snyderverse, so there is a hope." The Rock said, "Restore the Snyderverse." Where did you see that? I've been searching. I've heard he supports it, but I've never seen physical evidence of him actually saying that. And like I said, I'll get into that in just a second. But Deb, write in the comments where you see that, or maybe even a link, because I would love to see that. Yellow Devil, my man. Just call the German army to restore the Snyderverse. We can call it mostly peaceful intervention. Breezy Beast, what's up? How's it going? Hey. Some good stuff, man. Hey, I'm excited to have you guys here because we have some cool stuff to talk about. But one of the things that, man, it just seems like we're fighting constantly for director's cut. So this should tell you something about Warner Brothers throughout the years. I mean, the Richard Donner cut, with Superman 2, and another film that we've heard about is the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. Yeah. This is getting more and more interesting because here's the thing. This is very similar to Release the Air cut of Suicide Squad. That film is technically already done. Obviously, this film is definitely done. And I've heard through the grapevines from the Release the Schumacher cut Twitter account that there is a dark, like I think 30-minute longer version of Batman Forever that really went into the psychological terror and trauma that Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne was going through in that film. I knew there was a deleted scene that showed him like a very what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of symbolic scene of him with a giant man bat creature as he kind of embraces it, embraces his darkness. But the producer of Batman Forever, Akiva Goldsman, had an interview recently, and he said that he recently watched the really dark director's cut of the movie Batman Forever. Cool. And he says still has a renaissance coming. That makes me wonder, are they planning on releasing that thing? Because I mean, that right there, Warner Brothers has no reason not to release that. I mean, if they release it, it's not like it's like a Snyderverse issue. I mean, this is just a film they already have that they just could put on HBO Max and make more money from something that's already done. And guess what? Joel Schumacher's not even around to maybe get some of the benefits of it. Rest in peace, Joel Schumacher.
I was kind of thinking about what you were saying there, and I'm pulling a comment from earlier by Yellow Devil in the stream today. Yellow Devil said, will they just show the same movies because COVID delayed them anyway? Now, he was talking about, kind of what we were talking about earlier, but I was thinking, COVID has unfortunately delayed a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. Why not? It'll be so easy for, Warner Brothers and DC to release these special cuts. A lot of the work is done. They just need to do maybe a little bit more CGI in some cases, or like you said, for the
David Ayers.
The Schumacher cut. That seems like it's pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
So why not just give that to us?
It's easy content because that's sorry, go ahead.
And more revenue. Absolutely more revenue for them.
Yeah. I mean, and where I say it's easy content is what the hell does HBO Max have coming right now? I mean, can anyone really, other than movies that were supposed to be released in theaters, that they're getting a split divide, that really, while people think that was their way of helping people out because, theaters weren't open, they're helping the studios out. That was a total creative desperation from HBO Max. They had nothing coming, nothing that was going to be on their streaming service. So here they are, they promote this big ass streaming service that had zero content. I mean, there were a few things that were coming out, right? There was a few things that would, but not enough to last a year. So they were desperate for content. So that's why they went out. AT&T went out to Warner Media and say, you're releasing the fucking Snyder cut on HBO Max. And then they worked out that deal where it was going to be split releases from theaters and stuff like that have really helped HBO Max. So that's two easy options. I understand the reservation from the studio about Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, because essentially if they release the Ayer cut, once again, that is going to be proof in the studio's failure, of intervening in their director's vision. But it also suggests more and more that the restore the Snyderverse is the path that they have to go on if they release the Ayer cut. But with the Schumacher cut, why the hell not? Just do it. Just do it. There's no reason not to. I can't think of any. I mean, if you guys can, let us know. But
it's so easy right now. We should have been doing this the entire time. Like, especially when I saw Yellow Devil's, comment there, I was like, and hearing what she said, I was like, man.
Yeah,
that's stuff that they could have been doing in their own studios, working from home. We could have sent them computers if they needed them, and done it.
And Corey, if I recall, Batman Forever came out in 1995, right? So I would not seen it. Maybe I did see it. I don't know. I'll have to ask mom and dad. But I was a baby at that time. I was only one, if even. But you would have been.
Sounds right.
You would have been 7, 8.
Oh man,
9?
Eight and 9 around there. Yeah.
I mean, you would have been probably able to see. I mean, obviously you probably won't remember how you liked it back then, but like, what do you think of Batman Forever? Like, in my opinion, that's up there for the 90s Batman films.
Yeah. Man.
Definitely better than Bat Nibbles Clooney.
Right. Obviously, Joker. I mean, not Joker, Riddler.
With Jim Carrey.
With Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was he was really neat, but I remember classical, yes, but I remember my favorite portion of it was I loved Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Yeah.
And he is still, it's the 90s and, that's what Two-Face could be. He's still, he's still one of my favorite Two-Faces, Or
really even over Aaron Eckhart, I think, who did The Dark Knight.
Yes. He had a dark. I just like Tommy Lee Jones. I think that's it for me.
That was like during Men in Black times.
Oh, absolutely. So I hold a special place in my heart for Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
And everything that he was doing back then. Yeah, Men in Black, and he was such a hot actor then. And then Jim Carrey, being the Riddler. You had tons of great Jim Carrey 90s movies. Ace Ventura, a huge fan of. So it's like, man.
I mean, he was the hottest actor during that film. I think he cost more than Val Kilmer, if I recall.
Wow.
And the part of the thing that sucked about Batman Forever, I don't know if you knew this, Corey, but because technically it was a continuation of Keaton's series. So this will be interesting for The Flash if they reference that at all, because technically Batman and Robin is technically Keaton's Batman continued, But the guy who was supposed to play Harvey Dent, Two-Face, was Billy D. Williams. I think, Billy D. Williams. And for some reason, Joel Schumacher just did not want to work with Billy D. Williams. So they had to pay him out because he was contracted to be Two-Face for the next film.
Wow.
And actually, Keaton was supposed to be in Batman Forever. And they had offered him a crap ton of money, but he was like, the script was so bad, I'm not in it. But then again, I think Keaton, from at least that's what I read in, I think a Screen Rant article, which sometimes they are, hit pieces. But, with Keaton, dropping out and allowing Kilmer to come in, and allowed to create this maybe this alternate timeline that we'll see if it continues in Keaton's universe. But Yellow Devil says Riddler blowing up the Batcave was my favorite Batman movie scene as a kid. That movie was made for me. Yellow Devil, I'm starting to get a feeling that you maybe hate Batman. You like seeing him tortured with Selena Kyle, totally ruining his life, in their relationship. Just kidding, bro. Breezy B says Tommy Lee, great actor. I agree. He was phenomenal. He was such a good actor. But so I say hashtag release the Joel Schumacher cut. It's an easy thing to do. Just fricking do it. Now let's get into
do it.
Let's get into the main thing now with Black Adam. Okay, so I know you guys have been talking about it. That he's the key to restoring the Snyderverse. Which was it Breezy Beast or was it Deb that said that The Rock said? I think it was Deb that said about restoring the Snyderverse. Did you figure out where that was, Deb, at all yet? Where he actually said that?
She might be looking for it still. I haven't seen anything popped up yet. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just curious to see, because I've heard a lot of people say, I've heard Mikey Sutton with Geekosity say it, with Sill's channel, but I haven't seen any proof. And here is what I've heard from an article from, I think it's called Small Greens with Edward, who's the writer for that show. And he was saying that Warner Media has a company-wide, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, hush. No one's allowed to talk.
Gag order type thing?
Gag order. Thank you. Gag order. There's a company-wide gag order at Warner Media that they cannot mention or talk about, like, anything that has to do with restoring the Snyderverse. So now you're thinking, well, like, why is Dwayne Johnson held to that? Because he's an executive producer on Black Adam. He has to sign that agreement. And because he's an actor, he's also, they pay him because I think he's the second most followed person on Instagram and like social medias. He has like a crap ton of followers. So, I mean, with that, they pay him like an extra $1 million to market the movie. So he has to sign that agreement too that says he cannot speak on on restoring the Snyderverse with Black Adam and Henry Cavill being a part of it. So he has to be hush, hush, hush. Now, that doesn't say he doesn't have the power to change the story. He does have creative power within that film as the executive producer and the lead actor. They want to keep Dwayne Johnson because he is the hottest actor right now. That came out wrong, or did it? But he recently just turned 49. But here's something crazy, Corey, that I feel like Henry Cavill is going to take offense to this, because I mean, we know Henry Cavill. He used to work out with the Navy SEALs for Man of Steel.
Oh, you're going to say it.
Yeah. Okay. So The Rock has made it clear that he is not going to have any type of muscle padding in his suit. It is going to be completely just Dwayne Johnson. This man is absolutely nuts. I mean, he travels with I think someone said a 20,000 pound gym wherever he goes. I mean, he has it transported with him, so the fact that he was like calling out I don't think he did. I think technically either the costume designer, someone who was working with Dwayne Johnson came out and said, this will be the first time in history that an actor has never had to have any form of muscle padding in their suit for a superhero role. Yeah, which, I mean, look at the dude. His shirt is ripping from working out. Good God, the dude he's insane. Like, I'm excited for him. I know this movie has been like 15 years in the making. They've always wanted Dwayne Johnson for it, but it was always never the right time, or maybe he wasn't happy with where the project was at the time. So
I'm super excited for Black Adam, and I think part of that excitement is he's mysterious to me. I don't know too much about Black Adam, other than that he's Captain Marvel or Shazam's our arch enemy. So
yeah,
he's
kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
I know he has super strength and what his.
I mean, he has basically the same powers as Shazam. So everything of that. And I mean, as The Rock has said, the DC power of hierarchy is about to change. He is fully convinced that Black Adam is going to. I mean, he wants, from what we hear, a Black Adam versus Justice League. Just this one dude, and they're kind of. It's only been recently in the comics, I want to say from New 52 to now, where they've kind of made him like an anti-hero. So he's not always the villain like he used to be. So that's kind of interesting that they'll take that role from. I mean, it's very curious. I try to think about sometime, like if Dwayne Johnson is the key to restoring the Snyderverse, then he obviously wants a very dominant role within that universe. So I kind of look at it like, well, that to me, it just looks weird, because it's like, would we ever see Black Adam at the center of the Justice League leading them to fight Darkseid? Like, to me, that seems wrong almost, because it should be like Superman. It should be like Batman. It should be like Wonder Woman. It should be someone of the Trinity, or maybe even Cyborg. I mean, I don't care. It should be like one of the core members of the Justice League. Feels weird if it was Dwayne Johnson, but if it takes that to, have the Snyderverse restored, to have Dwayne Johnson dead center of the Justice League, fuck it.
Well, when Black Adam starts bench pressing Henry Cavill, or
just the entire Justice League.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Henry Cavill will take offense to it, though, because he'll try to make sure if he does get to be Superman again, he'll be like, I'm going after you, dude.
Henry Cavill's amazing. But hey, we got some awesome comments here. So Breezy B says, The Rock's head looks like a barbell. Damn.
All right. Deb says he said he wants to fight with Superman. He said something in live or wrote something in. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about the DC fandom. He had specifically called out, at least I think you are. He had specifically called out Superman, that he wants to take him on. Nazgul, hey, how's it going, man? So Jason Momoa needing padding half the time he ain't wearing a shirt. I know. I thought that, like, when that interview happened where the person said that, I'm totally spacing who said it. I was kind of like, really? Jason Momoa needed padding? Like, that doesn't, I don't know about that one. I mean, and even Ben Affleck's trainer said that the suit was not padded. So I'm kind of curious, even though what I think kind of happens with these, they might not be so much padded, but it's kind of hard to show those muscle definitions in the suit. So they kind of add like stitching and certain like textures to it, so that way it helps it look the way the actor is. I know they've done that. It's not like Keaton, who literally did not get in shape at all, and they had to make rubber abs on top of him. It's not like that at all with Keaton. But Deb says Black Adam is sane, powerful, and I love the animated movie, the fight with Superman and Shazam. I haven't seen that one, to be honest with you, as bad as it sounds, but I want to. Deb says rock bottom Superman.
Rock bottom Superman.
Rock bottom. It doesn't matter what you think. I love it though. But hey, man, all power to Black Adam and Dwayne Johnson if he can restore the Snyderverse. The Black Adam film coming out, I think you said in July, Corey, is going to be a good indicator to see what happens with that. I'd be curious. But let's talk about something that's been troubling me these last few days. Yeah, Warner Media biting the hand that feeds them. God damn them. Guys, I apologize now. I'm probably going to go off a little bit. I'm going to be pissed. I'm sorry. This thing really irked me too. I completely understand why people reacted to it in such a negative manner. But I love this little picture that someone made where it's Steppenwolf like, oh, it's toxic, it's good, and it's Warner Brothers Tower. It's freaking true. These guys are the fucking worst. So, and here was the troubling theme. And I feel bad. I'll be honest with you guys. It was probably an intern who did this. From what I understand of the social media businesses of the entertainment industry, it sounds like a lot of their social media accounts are handled by interns. So people who may not know the full story or how sensitive certain things are. I'm trying to be nice and give them the benefit of doubt, but at the same time, fuck you. Inside HBO Max was an official HBO Max account, Twitter account, retweeted a Scott Porch who has been known to hate anything Zack Snyder does. I mean, the guy just hates us, but he went out with this puff hit article, here's an info nugget at HBO Max's 3 biggest opening weekend movies to date: Wonder Woman 1984, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, the 3 big new films. And then he says, sorry, #release the Snyder Cut bros. And he goes in his whole article. If you read it, I did. It was hard to read. Really trying to irk us. He was trying to trigger the community, but what I don't think any of us would have been triggered really if it weren't the fact that HBO Max retweeted it. And just to let you guys know, it got so much freaking hate that they took it down after 10 minutes, I want to say. So, I mean, that just kind of shows you how much damage this one retweet, because I mean, a lot of us think, obviously, Warner Brothers is not going to restore the Snyderverse. They think Zack costs too much money. They think that he will never get them that $1 billion film, which you've heard my thoughts on that, which is completely bullshit to blame him for not getting to $1 billion. I mean, look at Batman Begins. Batman Begins made, I think, $460 million, maybe $600 million. That was Batman Begins, right? You had to build it to Heath Ledger's The Dark Knight, and not only that, you went out of when it comes to The Dark Knight and Christopher Nolan, you took a risk there. You really trusted your director to bring you back a really good product, And I remember there was even that one a panel during DC Fandom when they were talking about Christopher Nolan's trilogy, where they were like, "Man, could you imagine if Batman Begins bombed?" Like, they would have never taken a risk again, but it worked out for them because they trusted their director. And because of that, they didn't tamper with the Dark Knight film. They got that incredible masterpiece of a film, and it made $1 billion because critics were loving it. The fans were loving it. Batman v Superman, I'm totally convinced that if you would have just got out of Zack Snyder's way, it would have been $1 billion film. If you didn't cut that 30 extra minutes that explained the entire problem that Batman and Superman and Lex Luthor are dealing with, it would have easily made $1 billion. I believe that to my core, and I will fight people on that. But because of this stupid freaking article, and the poor HBO Max intern that
think he's still interning?
it was probably like, hey kid, you did a good job. You know what? Here's what happened. He got fired from HBO Max. He's now working for Warner Brothers Pictures.
What do you think was the most offensive part of Scott Porch's just comment? The just spreading the kind of misinformation, the misperception of how the Zack Snyder Justice League did compared to the other movies that he listed off, or was it sorry, release the Snyder Cut, bros?
It was the sorry, release the Snyder Cut, bros, because you're throwing us you're labeling this community as a bunch of white bearded fat men. Wait a second. Like, not me, right? Fuck. Damn him.
I'm gonna go shave my beard real quick. I'll be right back.
Right? Like this, but like, look at this community. This community is full of tons of diverse people. Zack Snyder's Justice League is succeeding all over the globe. It's doing really freaking well. In fact, it's doing far better than a lot of the other films that this guy mentioned off. So the fact that he's like throwing us in this, and I think it was the fact that there was just blatant disrespect of like, hey, fuck you, Snyder Cut, supporters. And it was kind of like, you didn't even need to say that, dude. You could have just said 3 biggest opening movie weekends to date: Wonder Woman, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat. That would have been fine if you would have just left it there. It was the fact that he had to add the hashtag release the Snyder Cut, bros. You guys suck. Like, fuck you, dude. It's suck.
Toxic.
It's toxic. That's good. It's toxic. Eat a Snickers, bro. Yellow Devil's like, what the fuck? HBO Max trolls the Snyder Cut. That's 180 degree from right. Yeah. So here's a question I have for a lot of you guys, because I know this is kind of set off the fact that it was HBO Max, and we all kind of considered HBO Max to kind of be our savior, or at least our place that the Snyderverse could continue, because we know Warner Brothers is not going to restore it. So it's kind of, HBO Max is the home for Zack Snyder. Are you guys, if you do own HBO Max, who is canceling HBO Max and why? And here's what I'll add to that question. If you're canceling it and you tell us why, tell us also, what do you think about Zach still continuously saying, don't cancel HBO Max? Because he has said that recently on his Vero. A lot of people have been saying like, oh man, what do we do? I think we got to make a message to HBO Max and let them know we're not standing for this bullshit. And I completely understand. I'm not going to tell you guys how to spend your money, that you need to keep HBO Max. I'm for right now, I'm going to keep HBO Max. Now, when the Zack Snyder's Justice League DVD comes out in the US, I'll discuss that situation with my wife to see what Warner Media is doing. I'll probably still keep it, just because I think, based off what Zach has said, what Ray Porter has said, everyone who is, a part of the Zack Snyder's Justice League, they keep saying to stick with it. And I trust Zach. I don't know. I'm like many people, I was very irked by that. And I think, yes, it does send a message to HBO Max and AT&T possibly, but I'm curious to hear from you guys why you're canceling. For right now, I'm not canceling because I'm supporting what Zach wants us to do, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Corey, out of curiosity, do you have an HBO Max subscription, right?
Yeah, I do. And, I was a little upset that they shared that. And so I do have a Twitter. I just created a Twitter. I finally got on that train, and
welcome to the toxic world.
Basically, I have it for both, obviously, the Bat Channel, restore the Snyder Cut, and families and stuff like that, and then the other half of it is like crypto, so it's just like nonstop either superhero or crypto. But when I actually somehow got a notification that you posted that, and when I read it, I was just flabbergasted. I was just like,
Yeah.
whoa, did they actually share this? Is this like a tweet or like what's going on here? And I'm still kind of new to the Twitter world, so understanding, retweeting and all that. But I was like, oh my God, man, what are they thinking? Like why, whether or not you like the Snyder Cut bros or not, that's still a customer. And when you alienate a portion, which is a large portion, 1.5 million, tweets about restoring the Snyderverse, and the max numbers that you guys have done on Twitter, like why would you alienate that large portion of people that want this to happen? I just think it was a poor move, and I didn't realize that they were interns, and I don't think they've apologized yet, have they? Has Inside HBO Max apologized? Has Warner Brothers apologized? That is even more concerning to me. They
haven't apologized to Ray fucking Fisher. We'll never get an apology for. And you know what? I wouldn't even want an apology for that. I if anything, if Warner Brothers was ever going to apologize, there's two people in my mind that they have to apologize to: Ray Fisher and Zack fucking Snyder.
Absolutely. We're getting I'm sorry, Trey,
go ahead.
We're starting to get some fun comments here, and Nazgul actually made me laugh here.
I want to know how the three of us watching Zack Snyder's Justice League crashed. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You didn't hear about this with Godzilla versus Kong. You didn't hear about it with Mortal Kombat, which apparently had the biggest, HBO Max opening ever. And not only that, Mortal Kombat isn't that well received. I haven't watched it yet because I plan on seeing with my bro Corey. I wouldn't leave you hanging, buddy.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I did watch the old one though. Did you see that on HBO Max? When I saw they put that one on, they had the sequel on that I've never watched
really
before. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
We'll have to do that sometime. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for some of the shit that they're saying. But Deb also says, my friends who never liked DC and are mostly Marvel fans supported Snyder after watching his version. Same. I have a ton of friends who are probably watching right now as we speak, who had talked about they're huge Marvel fans and would never watch a DC film and enjoy it. And yet here Zack Snyder's Justice League made them go, holy hell, that was a fantastic film.
I think of the Marvel brothers, the Russos. They
the Russos, yeah.
Yeah, they showed, great support for Zack Snyder.
About that.
So we're starting to get some answers back. So Debek said they're playing with us, and so let's wait and let's see.
Hey, Deb, out of curiosity, what do you have for streaming service? I'm not sure where you're located, and obviously you don't have to say where you're located, but I just know what streaming service you're using to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Breezy Beast says they got Superman and Lois on HBO Max, so it's going to be hard for me to cancel. I haven't watched that yet, man. I gotta be honest. I was super excited to see that show because I'm a DC fan. How can I not want to watch it? It's difficult for me to support something that I know Jeff Johns is a part of now. It's like the Green Lantern Corps. I would love to see that show, which we'll talk about that in just a freaking second too. So Yellow Devil says, I can't cancel it since it doesn't exist. I would keep it though to watch DC content. Yeah, because I know Yellow Devil, you're a pretty big just overall DC fan, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not just a Snyder supporter. I'm a DC fan. I support the DC comics and I like DC over Marvel. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy Marvel films. I think they're very good at what they do. But in terms of what's a better film, I would say Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel are like some of the best superhero films of all time, in my opinion. But I also really dig Zack Snyder's style, so that kind of helps. But would I consider myself a Snyder Cut boy? A Snyder boy, Zack Snyder, whatever he does, it's great shit. Trying to think actually if there's a film that I don't exactly care for. I mean, maybe I am. I'm not sure. But the release of Snyder Cut guy, what's up, man? Oh, that's so funny that you have the profile pic too of that guy from the Harley Quinn show, which we haven't even heard them greenlighting the 3rd season for that. So they need to get on that. I will not cancel HBO Max because of Zach. I will not cancel HBO Max because of Zach. For some reason, that felt like it flowed and rhymed in a way, but Deb says in Amazon Prime is there and Book My Show app and Apple TV. Oh, okay, so you did it through there. So I think that means you have to like rent it every time you want to watch it, right? Think so. I think that's how I heard. But Nazgul says keeping HBO Max for the time being.
I'm actually really glad to hear that, and I think I would agree with that statement. I think that we should continue to keep HBO Max and hope they do the right thing, even though they haven't yet. So I get where it's concerning and why there are people canceling. I don't want to give up on the movement yet. I am still going to try to hold strong to it. But, there's it's important to, if I'm paying for a product, that they need to deliver as well. And if they're not delivering, then I understand that it's time to move on. But, it really, when Zach tells us, hey,
I know
it's time.
Yeah. Honestly, and that's the amazing thing. So here's the next thing I want to talk about. Corey, can you show the next slide? I enjoyed making this one for you guys. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that to Ezra Miller. I mean, it was just because it's Justice League, So here's another thing that really pissed off fans recently. Toxic Warner Brothers released on their YouTube page the Justice League 4K trailer because they are coming out with the 4K DVD for Justice League. What the fuck? The majority of the people have already said that this Justice League from 2017 is a shit film. And you guys thought it was a great idea to fucking provide resources and fucking money to a film that now everyone has said is a piece of shit compared to Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, I'm still waiting on hearing someone who's not a Marvel fan to say that they like Justice League over Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because the only people I've heard that actually enjoyed Justice League were Marvel fans, which at that moment, I'm just going to smack you because, yeah, it makes fucking sense. And you know what? If you're a fan of Avengers Age of Ultron and the first Avengers film, because of, that was a Joss Whedon film. So you got those weird, characters falling on female superheroes' breasts because that's funny, apparently, to Joss Whedon.
So hold up a second, because we didn't have much time to talk about this prior to this coming up, and I know it like literally just happened. So you're telling me that Warner Brothers released a 4K trailer of the 2017 Justice League?
Yes, and it all to promote that the DVD for 4K, because I think it was just in Blu-ray. They're coming out with the 4K DVD for you to purchase. So here's a trailer for it. Yeah, wow. To the point, it's so fucking bullshit. To the point where Zack Snyder said himself, people reached out to him on Vero and said, "Dude, Warner Brothers is doing this. What's your thoughts?" Zack, who I would say is very calm. He's not like us. He doesn't overreact, which I'm not going to lie. I kind of overreacted on the hit article that one fucker did on HBO Max. Well, the Inside HBO Max team. And even Zach said crossing the line. Ray Porter said, I agree, crossing the line. Zach is such a nice guy. And him coming out and saying this is fucking bullshit.
I tell you what. If Warner Brothers is listening right now, and before they crash my side of the stream again, turn up your volume a little bit more.
Listen closely. I will silver away.
We don't want that shit.
Yeah.
2017 Justice League in 4K. I don't give a damn.
Who wants to see Superman's fucked up lip in 4K? That is not helping you, Warner Brothers. In fact, everyone is agreeing because I think it's now over 85,000 dislikes on YouTube, and it only has like 3,000 likes. People are trying to tell you you're fucking stupid, and yet you are just constantly. It's like I can't tell if you guys are just actually dumb, or if you actually think you like can run a business well. Yeah, I'm calling you guys out. You guys suck at running a business because who the fuck asked for that? No one asked for a 4K Justice League so we can see Superman's shitty lip. Like, what the fuck?
But it's shit in 4K is what Nazgul says.
Shit in 4K. You know, that's you know, if no, never mind. I had to reel that fucker back in. I had a joke that was like, nope. You know, I can do it. So Yellow Devil says the biggest question is why do they advertise Whedon's cut with Snyder cut scenes? It makes no sense. Did they do that? I didn't even take the time to fucking watch it. I literally just opened it up, dislike, and said, restore the fucking Snyderverse, you idiots. So I mean, granted, a lot of the scenes were kind of similar. They just took different takes to kind of maybe make Flash smile like an idiot more and Aquaman say, my man, over and over again. But Deb says, why they released the Zack Snyder Justice League trilogy trailer? They are teasing also. Yeah, that's just them trying to put a stamp saying like, get over it. It's fucking over. It's not fucking over until we say it's fucking over. You know, that's the way. Here's something I heard just today, literally in an hour before Corey and I started our stream. So Corey doesn't even know about this. So there's a guy named Uchi, who I hope I said his name right. But he has a YouTube show. He used to be like a defensive lineman for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who has his own YouTube channel now. And he did this big live stream fundraising event with Zack Snyder. So he knows Zack Snyder, maybe not like texting buddies, but knows him fairly well to do an interview and to have him on a show to raise money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Zack had said to him, he came on, Uchi came out and talked about this today on Sil Abdul's channel. He came out and said that Zack told him the only way to well, not the only way. One of the things that will be basically a requirement to restore the Snyderverse is for Warner Media to clean house, is what he said. To clean house, which means get rid of Walter Hamada and Sarnoff, and I think would also mean Toby Emmerich.
Bye, Walter.
Yeah. Like the fact that Zack had said that to Uche, and he maybe said that in behind the scenes confidence, with that. But I mean, it's out now. Everyone knows about it.
But how would Ray Fisher played such a huge role, and how would he come back? I know he wants to come back, but how would he come back to a toxic environment like they've created?
He wouldn't.
So,
not unless if they made it right. And like Ray said, he wants an apology and he wants some form of action taken. Now that could mean, I've heard him say some people who are in leadership positions no longer need to be in those positions. That would mean Walter Hamada needs to get the fuck out. So
have a nice life, Walter.
Yeah, I think there was that. Like, you're about to lose your job. But yeah, so it has over 85,000 dislikes. It'll probably be 100,000 by next week easily. But Zack saying it was crossing the line. You had the Zack. Here's a perfect example. Zack Snyder's Justice League 4K is now open for pre-order in the UK. Corey, how long do you think it took for it to sell out?
I'm going to say within 30 minutes. 30 minutes
20
an
minutes.
hour.
20 minutes.
Oh, boy. I like that guess. And I swear to God,
minutes.
Scout's honor, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Hey, I give you credit. You reading my mind, Superman. Yeah, 20 freaking minutes on the Warner Brothers. Not Warner Brothers. The Zack Snyder Justice League 4K for the UK. 4K for the UK. I'm doing like a whole bunch of tongue twisters here. 4K for the UK. And in 20 minutes, it was already sold out.
And that's how you restore the Snyderverse, baby.
Exactly. Because AT&T at that moment doesn't care, right? They don't care. They just care about the money. And right now, the money says that no one wants fucking Justice League. It'll be really interesting to see how well this 4K of Justice League sells. And honestly, if I were AT&T, I would make sure to look into that 4K Justice League film and see how many films are returned of that. Because some people are going to buy that thinking it's Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then they're going to be like, what the fuck is this?
You know what we need to create? We need to create a Jerry Maguire like seed and have AT&T call up.
You
Have AT&T call up, show me the money.
show me the quant. Come on, Jerry. You can do it, Jerry. Or it'd be Toby. Come on, Toby. Show me the money, Toby. Fucking hell, man. But yeah, everyone is very convinced, and Mikey Sutton kind of talked about this during Geekoxity, during Sil Abdul's show, is that apparently AT&T is watching very closely the Army of the Dead film on Netflix that Zach is doing. The reason why they're doing that, oh man, sorry, I saw this with Yellow Devil. I'm so sorry. It's Trey V. Hamada, Dawn of the Catwoman fan club. Oh, bro.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hey, I'll take on Walter Hamada. Hey, bring him on the show. Walter, I'm Trey of the Bat Channel with my super bro, Corey. I'm offering you an official invitation to be on the Bat Channel. I will be respectful to you. I might throw a few F-bombs. I will be honest with you.
Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut. Come on our show. I would love to talk to you. I will let you say your piece. You can tell me we're a piece of shit, that the Snyder community sucks, and that, the Zack Snyder's Justice League sucks.
Why did he say that name?
I just want to hear your side of it. And then when the interview's over and we're saying, hey, thank you for watching, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and smack the shit out of Walter Hamada. This is the Bat Channel. I'm just kidding. We won't do that.
I don't know if you know anything about this, but we'll have to look into it. What about the Twitter about Warner Brother UK replied to one guy about Restore the Snyderverse? They said 24th of May.
I heard something about that. I wasn't under the impression that's what they were talking about, though. That's interesting. Adam, boycott Warner Brothers. Man, did you have to have a profile pic of pizza? I'm trying to be good, man.
One bite, everybody knows the rules.
One bite, everybody knows the rules. Nazgul says Snyderverse on HBO Max and let Warner Bros. Scrub the theatrical releases so you win. Simple. Exactly, right? Like, you guys are totally on it. And here's some good things to show you and why they're trying to be very quiet about the Snyder Cut. Here's some numbers for you guys by Samba TV, who, Sil, if you're watching this, I don't know how you've been doing it lately, bro, but the interviews you've been getting with, Mikey Sutton and now Samba TV, the CEO, I believe, came out, or the senior director, Dr. Jeffrey Silverman, appeared on his show and said, in short, Zack Snyder's Justice League exploded on HBO Max. Silverman revealed the Snyder Cut beat almost every other movie we looked at upon the release on HBO Max. So 3.7 million US households watched Zack Snyder's Justice League since its release. So that's like 37 days. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, Samba TV said, that Mortal Kombat had like 3.8 million in its first weekend. What's so big about that? This graph right here says it all. So this is Wonder Woman 1984 versus Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, you have to remember, Wonder Woman 1984 opened on Christmas Day, so families were together. They were off from work. Zack Snyder's Justice League opened up on a Thursday, and it's a 4-hour fucking film. Doesn't feel like 4 hours, but not only that, it crashed the night it was released. So therefore, people had to wait until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to freaking watch the film. And people had work. It wasn't a weekend break. No one had a 3-day weekend. Maybe some people did, but.
And that's the fact. So sorry, Scott Porch Bros.
Yeah, fuck you, Scott. If you're watching this, fuck you. Sorry, I told you I was going to go off a little bit on this one. But here's so opening night, it didn't start so well. You have to remember, 4-hour film, Thursday work night, school night. Here's where it's important, is that it didn't beat. Wonder Woman 1984 didn't annihilate Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League kept its own. But if you look at the trajectory of this graph, of the amount of views they were getting this is the first weekend. This graph shows the very first weekend. You start to see Wonder Woman 1984 at the top after people had 2 days, 3 days to see it, and the critics came out and said, it's actually not that good. People started to stop going. It started to dip. Zack Snyder's Justice League? No, it's continuously going up because people watched it. The hype was real about the film, so people are constantly just watching his film. It is in for the long haul of being a far more successful film. It beat Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. It was hanging in there with movies like Soul, which was considered a smash hit. But here's another thing to look at. Marvel, here's the difference between Warner Brothers and Marvel. Marvel, in all rights, I actually really dug the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Thought they did a really good job with it. That didn't beat Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it was after the season finale, not an hour later, Captain America 4, you're getting it. Zack Snyder's Justice League beat it. And Warner Brothers goes, we don't want to tell you guys the numbers. If Zack Snyder's Justice League failed analytically, statistically, Warner Brothers would be all fucking over it. They would be like, see, we told you guys, you were wrong. You were wrong. You complained. You're a toxic fandom, because they would have stamped it, because they would have wanted it to never happen again. They wouldn't want a strong community and fan base to convince a studio to release a director's cut and spend more money than they were willing to give.
And I hate to say it, that's why Marvel kicks ass. They
I have to give them
support
credit.
it. They support it. Could you imagine if it was, Marvel, with it?
If we had a Kevin Feige, fuck yeah.
Boom. We just restore the Snyderverse forever. Could you imagine?
Zack Snyder's Justice League would have ended with, how they do, like, Captain America will return in Captain America 4. It would have been the Justice League will return in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2.
The saying of DC has comics, but Marvel has movies wouldn't be a thing. It would have been, DC has comics and movies. Boom,
Yeah. It's so fucking stupid.
And it's interesting. I've some great comments here. I'm seeing Deb, it beat Endgame 2, I think. Which
the 1.5 million tweets. It broke that record from Endgame. Yellow Devil says, I just Googled it. The 4K Whedon cut released March of 2018 in my country. Why advertise an old disc years later? It's not even a new product. Great. See, that's the thing. Why? Like, they did it to piss us off.
I know why. They're trying to divert. They don't want you to think about Zack Snyder Justice League. They're trying to. They want us to stop tweeting about it.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're not going anywhere.
No.
We ain't fucking going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah.
Someone needs to make a video of that and do like the deep fake with Zack Snyder's face and just be like, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm fucking leaving.
The show goes on.
The show goes on.
That's one of my favorite GIFs to actually put, like when I'm late at night, just doing hashtag restore the Snyderverse on all of HBO Max's and any tweet or posting on Facebook or whatever. I love putting that GIF in there. The show goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And like one thing that's really sad about this whole situation is I'm surprised how much Zack is still fighting for Restore the Snyderverse. He's still fighting for it. And yet the studio treats him like utter shit. They've constantly, tarnished his fucking movie. And to the point where like the Snyder cut that we got, the Zack Snyder's Justice League, that's a phenomenal film, is tainted. And you're asking, well, Trey, what do you mean by that? We got the film. We got Zack Snyder's Justice League. It was supposed to be uncompromised and get his full vision. We got the 4:3 aspect ratio that he wanted. No, we still didn't get the full Zack Snyder's Justice League vision. Corey, can you pull up the next line? Because of this right here.
Yes, sir.
As you guys know, Wayne T. Carr, who is really an unknown theater actor, who I'm told is very brilliant, though, and he knows Ray Fisher very well because Ray Fisher recommended him for this. Here is the driveway production because Zack Snyder wasn't getting any support from Warner Brothers and Warner Media, so he had to film it on his fucking driveway. But you know what? That doesn't get fucking Zack down. He fucking does it. So here's Wayne T. Carr.
Hashtag GOAT.
Hashtag GOAT. Greatest of all time, right? Here's Wayne T. Carr in his similar CGI suit that Ray Fisher had to wear, and actually Ray Porter also had to wear for their CGI suits because they didn't have time and the money to make a Green Lantern suit, which, by the way, the bottom right picture is not what the suit was going to look like. Someone just edited that, which I just thought it was super cool. But like, here he is, man. Bruce was actually supposed to be talking to John Stewart and Kilowog. And I think I've heard maybe also Martian Manhunter was supposed to be there, but I was under the impression that Martian Manhunter was the compromise at the end. So it was actually supposed to be Green Lantern and Kilowog. And here he is. It's John freaking Stewart. That's like so Justice League Unlimited vibes right there. And, you know, he looks wonderful. He looks great in that role. He even has his haircut style, kind of the way the animated show did. And it pisses me off that apparently, from the rumors I've heard, is that Zack had a show, Zack Snyder's Justice League, to Walter Hamada. He then supposedly called up Jeff Johns, who was working on the Green Lantern Corps show. And Jeff was like, no, you can't do this. Now, here's the bullshit thing of this even further. So they told Zack, you can't use it, pal. And this actor, Wayne T. Carr, who put on this work, this wonderful opportunity, this dream opportunity, slipped right out of his hands because Warner Brothers hates Zack. They hate what he's. If it's a multiverse, why can't you have multiple lanterns? Who the fuck cares? It's a multiverse, right? And it's so angry. You know, it pisses me off that we have to do this whole thing of release the Green Lantern scene, release the Snyder cut of the Snyder cut, because you didn't get it the first time, you know. And
when Darkseid understands the multiverse better than you do, Warner Brothers.
Sad as it is, it's so fucking, it's disappointing that you still got in his way even after this, because now you've created this. Here's the funny thing I saw an article about. So the Green Lantern Corps show, when they first announced it back in January, maybe December, maybe November, it was something like that. It was kind of winter time. When they announced the Green Lantern Corps show, they specifically said Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan were not the main characters of this show. It was going to be Guy Gardner, which they just casted the Guy Gardner actor. I don't recall where I've seen him before in a film. So, but, you know, I mean, I was kind of excited for it, other than it's Jeff Johns, and I just don't want to support whatever he has to do because of his toxic behavior behind the scenes. But man, apparently, you know, after this, people got trending hashtag release the Green Lantern scene. So guess what Warner Brothers does? Check this out, Corey. They came out with an article that said, hey, Jon Stewart is actually going to be the lead in the Green Lantern Corps show. What? You just came out with that? That's fucking fishy. You just announced the actor who's playing Guy Gardner, but yet the lead character that you haven't said anything about until now, because that would have been huge news. It would have been huge news. Jon Stewart going to lead the Green Lantern Corps show. You specifically said in your article it wasn't. Now you're saying it is, but you haven't casted that actor. You casted someone who's not the lead actor. What? Like, stop. Like, you guys are just so fucking dumb now. You thought that we would believe the bullshit you did with Jason Momoa being Frosty the fucking Snowman when Ray Fisher was coming out with shit. You guys are pathetic. Like, whoever's running your fucking public relations team or your damage control team, fucking fire them, because they're fucking stupid. They're terrible at their job. Like, come up with something better. You know, maybe just show fucking Michael Keaton in his fucking mansion, you know, with the, you know, the Flash film. So Nazgul says Warner Brothers can't stop stepping on the proverbial toes. Yes, that is true. That is true. God, you know, Devil, are you trying to make me buy Sinestro Corp War all over again? Damn Green Lantern comic greatness. Yeah, hey man, yeah. I mean,
do it.
Jeff Johns was a good comic book writer. I mean, he did make some really good New 52, and he brought back to life the Green Lantern comics. You know, you got to give him credit for that. Maybe he's a brilliant comic writer. So far, everything he does when it comes to entertainment is absolute utter fucking shit. J.S. Martins is an artist who did most of the art starting from Man of Steel and BVS for Zack, and he also posting all arts about the future plans they had, all the lanterns and Apocalypse Guard and all. Oh, that's cool. Is that name you put in there his like Instagram account? I'll have to check that out. That's cool. I really do dig that.
But, yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. This whole situation sucks that they're still treating Zack like shit because, and here's where I was going to go to this. I can't believe this man still wants to continue the Snyderverse because Netflix is treating him like a fucking god. You know, they see the business potential with him. So to the point where Army of the Dead was trending today, just by the fans calling for the support, you know, Army of the Dead. They were supporting Zack just to do it. And it got to like 40,000 tweets today. I think even more now. And what does Netflix do? They jumped on it. They released new posters. They brought out a little teaser trailer. They did all this shit today. And Warner Brothers won't do a fucking ounce for Zack. I want Zack to be happy. I want anyone in their workplace to be happy when they work. Because that's when you get something truly special. Because when you get someone who's like constantly miserable at work, you're not going to get the best out of them. You know? I mean, somehow we got the best out of Zack during all the bullshit of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, that man just is like a train. You can't stop him when he's on his roll. But I can't. Good luck, Netflix, man. I hope Army of the Dead, it comes out a day before my birthday. I'm so excited for this film. I hope it crushes. And the word on the street is AT&T is paying attention to Army of the Dead because if it is super successful, AT&T is going to have a conversation with Zack Snyder is what I'm hearing. They're going to have a conversation with him. They're going to try to sign him to a deal. Who knows what that means?
And what a perfect timing too, because obviously Zack Snyder he's in the in for directors right now.
Yeah,
everybody knows him, everybody loves him. Walking Dead is kind of on its way out. They want to go into more of the movie side of things. The show is starting to end, some spinoffs. So what a great time for Netflix to take advantage of this opportunity. So smart, and again. Why can't Warner Brothers become this smart? Well, they
just don't like him. They think his movies cost too much, and that his return in their investment. I mean, he's never had a film that flopped really at the box office. I think Sucker Punch kind of did, but that was a completely original idea. I think they didn't even kind of understand what they were, how to market it, so it didn't do as well. But everything else Zack has done has been a financial success. Technically, it just wasn't to the standard that Warner Brothers wanted. And to be honest, once again, if you got out of his way and released his version of the film in theaters, it would have been successful. So it's very disappointing. I hope Netflix runs with it, and I hope Army of the Dead is super successful. And that's kind of on us. But to me, guys, Zack did this thing where, someone asked him like, man, what are you doing? He's like, they don't deserve you. And Zack said, nor do they want me, and like that like just tore me apart. Like, here's this great guy. Everyone loves working for Zack Snyder. And it really beat me up because I was like, man, like we got to do something for Zack. We got to do something for him. And it made the video that Corey and I are working on all the more important. So we need to show our support to Zack. We need to show the studio that we're not the toxic fan base that they think we are, that we have Zack's back. We need a little something that's going to encourage him, is going to boost his morale. And the video that we're working on is this Hallelujah Snyder Cut music video. And we have this super easy, quick 10-second video that you need, that it should just take 10 seconds, right? It's a candle passing video to thank Zack Snyder, to celebrate Zack Snyder's Justice League and the entire community of everyone who made this release possible. But more importantly, it's a tribute to Zack's daughter, Autumn. And we're hoping that this video encourages people to donate to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, but more importantly, to let those know who are battling depression that they are not alone, that there is a community out there that will fight for them, that will stand with them, and hopefully just provides them comfort for 5 minutes. so that way they feel like they can go about their day. As someone like me who battles depression, a smile goes a long way, but just knowing someone's out there means the world to them. So we really need your guys' support on this. Like I said, it's a super quick, easy 10-second video that you can do. If you don't want to show your face, if you want to just show your hand, passing the candle because of Autumn's light shines on because she brought us all together to accomplish wonders. Corey, can you pull up that video and we'll show exactly what we need folks to do, because guys, this video is going to be huge. I've been in touch with some people lately, and this thing has the potential to be just ginormous. We have a celebrity that's going to appear in it. I don't want to give it away, but you guys, it's going to be cool. It's going to be a really great video, but it requires all of us to get involved, because I plan on sending this to Zach for us to see, that the community is behind him. So Corey, let's go ahead and play what we need from folks. For those of you who aren't interested in sending in a video of you singing or playing an instrument, but you still want to find a way to be involved in this really cool project, I have to give credit to my Bat Mom for actually coming up with this idea, and I really love it. It's so cool, and it does exactly what we're trying to do with this video of spreading this message. But basically, we're gonna, this video, while we're celebrating the Snyder Cut community, and it's a thank you to Zach and everyone who made this possible. Like I said, it's partly a tribute to Autumn Snyder, and we are doing it to in honor of her. So I think it would be really cool if, for those who want to just be a part of this video, if you can light a candle, and it'll kind of symbolize that Autumn was this light that has brought us all together, and that her light still lives on with all of us because of what we were able to accomplish and achieve together with raising over $500,000 for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. I'm hoping that this video encourages people to take it to the next milestone of $1 million for the Snyder Cut community in honor of Autumn. So here's what I need from you. So all you'll need is a lit candle, and what we're going to try to make the video look like is that we're passing the candle all around to each other. So you're going to grab the candle from right off screen to the center, and if you want to say for Autumn, you can, or you can even say thank you, Zach. I'll leave that up to you guys, but then you'll take the candle and you'll pass it off to the left, and we'll keep doing that until it goes through everyone. And the idea is that Autumn's light lives on and has touched all of our lives from around the world to unite us for the cause to fight depression and to raise money for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. I can't wait to see how that turns out. I think that's just going to be such a powerful moment for the video, and just going to look really, really cool. My video editor Corey and I have really thought of some cool ideas that we can do with that candle. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to email us at heybatchannel@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on my Twitter at Trey Austin Music. Awesome, thank you, Corey. So yeah, guys, that's going to be. To me, that video, every time I work on it and I'm trying to put it together, and it's tough work. I'm not gonna lie. This video is has been really tough to work on, because we want it to be really, really cool and special, and it's kind of that pressure. But every time I get down about it, something happens that keeps reminding me why this video is important, why it needs for me to keep fighting, to keep pushing people to get involved in this video. So literally, if you have friends, if you have family, if you have anyone that would be interested in this, maybe some people that you follow on YouTube, reach out to them about this, send them our way. We would love to chat with them what we need.
And we need your help too. This is a community project, and we have some more slots available for all aspects of it, So if you're needing to buy a candle, please buy that candle and shoot that quick video. But the Release the Snyder Cut guy, you have some musician friends, Thank
That's
you
cool.
for sharing that information with them. This is
Yeah.
that's what we need. And what a great way to again say thank you to Zack, to show him our support that he needs right now. And he's clearly not getting that from Warner Brothers. And they all think we're toxic anyways. So let's do something that proves them wrong. But we need you. Seriously, this is please be a part of this project.
I mean, as Ben Affleck says, like in Batman v Superman, help me find others like you. We need this community to show how amazing it is. We've done it many times before, and all it takes is 10 seconds to do a really quick video. And to know that in a way you're helping those who you never thought you could reach out to before. And here we are, this video is going to be huge, but it requires you. Okay. Please reach out to us if you guys have any questions about it. I would love to go over anything with you about it, because it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited about it. Because to me, it's everything this community is about. It's everything. And to me, it's proof to everyone who says we're toxic. This is proof that no, we're not. I don't know who they're dealing with, but this community is amazing. We've accomplished wonders together. Let's do this together. Us united, right? All right. Corey, are you ready?
I've been waiting.
Part 4, the change machine. This part 4 was amazing. Man, okay, so it starts off with the rooftop of GCPD, where Commissioner Gordon, let's go ahead and go to the next slide, Corey. Commissioner Gordon, played by J.K. Simmons, which he did the voice for Invincible's character. I'm totally spacing what character. I haven't seen the show yet, but everyone's been raving about it, so I need to watch it. But man, he's waiting for Batman to answer the call of the bat signal being lit, and the Justice League has arrived, and it's that insanely cool shot of Ben Affleck's Batman. Corey, can you go one slide back?
Yes, sir. I accidentally clicked.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I'm like talking about Batman, this insanely cool shot. This shot, man, it gives me chills every time because of that. It looks like it's from the animated Batman series. I almost wonder if that was Zack's motivation behind it, because it's just like, that's such a classic Batman on top of a gargoyle. I just literally read a Batman comic the other day where it started out with Batman on a gargoyle like that. And when I saw that, I was like, man, Zack, it's such a cool shot. So cinematically phenomenal. But you get this next shot, go ahead, Corey, with Wonder Woman, Flash, and Cyborg joining, and they're kind of figuring out where all the parademons have been taking people. And Cyborg kind of discovers that it's all happening on Stryker's Island. And one thing that I caught about this scene, I tried to look in the background to see if there was any like Gotham City Easter eggs out there. I didn't see any, so if you saw them, let us know. But it always funny to me that they gave Zack so much shit about not being funny enough for his films, and yet all the funny scenes in the 2017 film were Zack's scenes, because you have that great scene where James Gordon looks away and turns around, and there's the Flash. He's still there, but everyone else has vanished, and Flash is like, "Oh, that's rude," and just boom, goes away. And I love how James Gordon, he's like not phased by really anything. He's just kind of like, well, this is Gotham City for you guys. To me, that kind of shows a lot about the deeper character story of James Gordon, that he has seen Batman with a team before, like Batgirl, Robin. This is nothing new to him. He's seen people of extraordinary abilities, but to him, it's like fucking Gotham, man. It's fucking crazy.
Right. And, technically he's the first person to see Ray Fisher completely as Cyborg, and yeah, there was scenes earlier, right, where, he's wearing, a hooded sweatshirt but he wasn't even phased by Cyborg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
and that was like the interest. I mean, he does kind of like, they're like, oh, curious, but nothing like, what the hell am I looking at here? Like, what is going on? He just kind of like just goes with the role, and I think that's very interesting about James Gordon's character. And one of those things that I would have loved to see continue on and make the Batfleck movie, right? But you get to Stryker's Island, which, if you guys didn't know, Stryker's Island first appeared in the comics in Superman Volume 2, number 9, which like came out in like 1987, I think. And basically it was like Alcatraz in the comics for like super beings. At least that's what I've known most of it to be. I'm sure it's had different interpretations on different Earths. But Corey, go ahead and go to the next picture. Oh man. When you see the Justice League jumping off of the Nightcrawler and you start getting that really cool Junkie XL rock theme, that dun 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 dun. Like, man, that was like my one criticism. Well, one like very small criticism of Junkie XL's music for this entire soundtrack, because I was like, I dug that so much. I was like, man, I want more of it. It was so cool. Like, Corey, didn't you, like, every time you hear it, you're just like, yeah,
just like head banging. You're like, yeah,
it's so good. I think it's called "We Do This Together" on the soundtrack, and I just love, especially with that scene, is the team really hasn't had any time to kind of hash out any plans together or really get to know each other and their strengths and their weaknesses. And first off, the Flash, he's super fast, right? But yet Batman's leading the team up the stairs, and of course it's slow. And like Flash could just like, bam, I'm there. And I just loved how Batman kind of commands that respect, that the team's just going to follow him, right? But it gets better to when they get to this bridge here that's, been destroyed, and they're kind of hashing out their plans. Because like Flash is like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, dude. Like what's going on here? And I love it's these subtle hints that Batman recognizes that Wonder Woman has far more experience than him at this. Even though he's been a crime fighter for 20 years, Wonder Woman has had military war, tactics and, plans, education throughout her entire life for 1,000 years. And here, Flash is like, what do we do? Batman looks to her for the answer, which I thought that was super cool, because I mean, usually Batman always has the plan, right? But he's like, no, she's the one with the most education here. I'm going to resort to her expertise. And, it's just that wonderful scene together where Cyborg has lived in Gotham City, right? He went to GCU for school, and he does that whole, like, I didn't think you were real. I always kind of thought you were just this mythology of a character. And it's that great theme where Batman's like, I'm only real when it's useful. And I kind of dug that, just because it is that idea that Batman's almost kind of like, oh God, kind of like not the boogie monster exactly, but I think there's like a German legend where there was like a creature that if like kids misbehaved, he would come out to the night and like basically beat you.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name now. Dwight,
Oh yeah, Dwight talked about it on The Office. That's what she said. Oh man, yeah. Hey,
it's true.
It's true. Man, good one there, Corey. Go ahead and go to the next picture. Here was something that was really cool. So as Steppenwolf is interrogating the Star Lab workers, and next will be Silas Stone, they're kind of getting an idea of what their plan is going to be, how they're going to go about it. And like Wonder Woman's like breaking down, like, this is going to be our tactic. We're going to come at them like this. We're going to have the other group go here. And I loved, there was a Justice League War New 52 animated movie reference from Jay Oliva. I think it was just flipped because technically it's Green Lantern that says like, I'm guessing those are the bad guys. And in this, it was the Flash who said that. And then Batman in the movie says, good guess. So I thought that was like a nice little subtle hint. You could tell Zach was clearly giving a little nod to Jay there, because they worked together a lot on the Zack Snyder Justice League films. But I loved when Steppenwolf is about to like go at Silas Stone because he can smell the mother box on him. And, Ray Fisher's character Cyborg just kind of throws out the plans because it's his father. And I think that was interesting, because throughout the entire film, you constantly have this tension between Silas and Victor Stone. And yet deep down, even though Victor tries to close off his father and build up the walls so they don't have a relationship, he does care about his dad. And they constantly kind of poke that idea that Ray, I keep calling him Ray, Victor, is there because he loves his father, and he goes to save him. And then you have this kick-ass scene, man, with Wonder Woman throwing down and I love that Gal plays this character when Zack does her, like when she like takes out a parademon, she smiles at Steppenwolf. And it's just that, like, she's a badass. She's ready to go down with this dude and take him out. And it's wonderful that Steppenwolf immediately respects Wonder Woman's abilities, because he's like, oh, you're an Amazon, but you're not quite an Amazon. You have a little bit of that blood of the old gods. And, and he knows the power of the old gods. The old gods took out Darkseid Euxis in their first invasion on Earth. So it's like super cool that this whole entire scene where you got the classic Wonder Woman theme with the little added Israeli singer doing that operatic theme. And I just love that she's able to like take out the parademons and go at him. And he has the respect to be like, oh no, this woman like deserves to have me go one-on-one with her, to take her out. But I also loved that Batman wasn't a bitch in this film compared to the 2017 film. If you remember in the 2017 film, he couldn't even take out a single parademon without having to call in the Nightcrawler. In this film, he jumps down and he's like taking out, I think he takes out like 4 parademons before he acts, he has to call in the Nightcrawler. And he calls in the Nightcrawler not because he's, in trouble. He calls it because they're overwhelmed with plenty of villains and parademons all around them, and they need extra, firepower. So I loved that Zack did that with these characters, because like that's Batman, right? He's not a push off. He can handle this situation. And I love that he has the Flash, fight, kind of take the people out of the hostages out. And there's just that comedic scene. Once again, Zack being so funny, where he's like, okay, I need you guys to hurry up. He's like, I'm showing you guys out, but you're not moving as fast to me. And it was just that great scene with the Flash, just that easy comedy, which, Corey, can you go to the next slide? And
I do want to say real quick, the one thing I liked about this portion was that, Wonder Woman was an equal to Steppenwolf, and it just had me thinking, like, imagine what would have happened if Wonder Woman, didn't come to the lands of men, and she was still there when Steppenwolf came down to attack.
Yeah,
I think it's over there. How it ends, the movie's over there.
That's interesting. That's curious to think about. I dig that. That's an interesting thought process, Corey.
And I would also agree with Batman as well. Batman clearly, showed his way during that time, and he was doing work on those guys.
I think, and so Nazgul says, I think Batman feels kind of exposed working in a team. His environment is the darkness. Yeah, and that was another thing that is unfortunate, that Zack was never able to film. He had actually, when they were first working on the Zack Snyder Justice League film back in like 2016, he had this really cool, scary horror scene where Batman was hunting a parademon, and it was supposed to be like really spooky and kind of chaotic and just like a really crazy scene. But the studio was like, no, that's way too scary, dude. Like, fuck you, it's Batman. It's not scary if you're with Batman, because Batman's gonna win because it's Batman, because I'm Batman. But yeah, you get this really cool scene where the Flash is able to escort all the hostages out of the dangerous situation, and they're getting falling debris, and the Flash is moving like so fast, and he's like getting it all. And I loved the subtle details that Zack does that you would almost miss with a blink of an eye. But in one of the shots, you get Flash admiring his work, which is totally Flash. That's totally his character. He's there standing like, oh man, look at me just doing all this work. Like, so brilliant that Zack would do it like this. Like, because it just shows a very in-depth knowledge of the character. And I loved how they kind of showed his speed, how it was kind of like flash images, not exactly a streak moving around, but just like bam, and able for your mind to process for a millisecond that he was there in that one position for that little bit of time. So it was really cool. But he also had that great scene where Cyborg saves the day with, extra falling debris that the Flash missed, and he saves his dad. And I love that Victor has that moment with his father once again, that kind of that teasing that idea that Victor doesn't want to show that he doesn't want to leave his father off the hook, because his father wasn't there for him. But at the same time, it's his dad. He cares about him. He wants to be there and he wants to protect him. And you can tell in this moment with Silas's eyes that he's very proud of his son at that moment. And it was just like a great moment that it's constantly building to what's going to happen in the future chapters of Zack Snyder's Justice League. But you get Flash going back in to help out Wonder Woman because, Batman's using the Nightcrawler to take down the parademons, but Steppenwolf ain't happening. He's just going ape shit. And there's that cool scene that was in the 2017 film, obviously Zack's scene. But let's see, clearly not a Yellow Devil. I wonder, is that Yellow Devil's other account? I was wondering. That's really ironic if it's not. Flash is the MVP of the film. Even stole my imaginary Batgirl. He even stole my imaginary Batgirl? What do you mean by that? He stole my imaginary Batgirl? That's going to puzzle me for a while. He stole my imaginary Batgirl. I have to think about that one. Or let us know in the comment section. What do you mean by that? Maybe I missed something. But I love that scene where, and man, Junkie XL once again did a phenomenal job with the music here because it's so cool and cinematic with, Flash giving the sword back. And you hear a little motif of the Justice League theme, which Junkie XL did an amazing job. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you kind of notice when the team isn't working as a team, they all are getting their individual themes playing in this part. And it's not until this one moment when they're finally working kind of together, kind of simpatico. And you finally get a little clip of the Justice League theme because they're not quite there yet. They're not quite the team that they need to be. And it's such a cool little, I pay attention to the music a lot because that's the kind of the career I would like to do. And it's just brilliant work on Tom Holkenborg's end. But clearly not. Yellow Devil says the picture tray user pick. Oh, I'm like thinking all the way through Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Like I missed something. The one he said, yeah. Hello from Brazil, Darcy. Hi, how's it going? From Brazil. That's awesome. Meeting people from all over the world. That's what this is all about, right? Bringing people together from all around the world to geek out about stuff. I'm glad to have you here, Darcy. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. But yeah, man. So we'll get back and you get this really cool scene where Steppenwolf and Wonder Woman are kind of back at it again. You don't get that bullshit scene where Flash falls on Wonder Woman's breast. That was so unnecessary. You get these characters that are just badass. And Flash gets hit in the leg by one of the parademons' rifles. And Batman's like, everyone's kind of protecting each other, which is really cool. Wonder Woman's saving Flash from the parademons, and when the parademons are trying to come after her, Batman's saving her. It's this team that is starting to figure it out. But Cyborg gets into the Nightcrawler, and I love that scene where he starts hacking into the Nightcrawler to fix it. And Alfred's like, "Who the hell are you, dude?" Because at this point, Alfred has not had any interaction with Cyborg other than his research, detective work on the guy. So it's a great little scene. But of course it goes wrong. Steppenwolf is able to escape, but not without using one of the missiles to blow up the tunnel to create it flooding in, which brings in a Jason Momoa. And
how cool was that?
That was a cool scene.
The water just comes in and you see the little glimpse of him just like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm in all the
waters.
Yeah. And I loved that Aquaman kind of got a theme in this, because that was one of my issues with, the first film, with the 2017 film, and honestly the Aquaman film, because they didn't really define a theme for Aquaman. And clearly Junk XL really took the time. These are these characters' themes that you're going to hear when you see them. And I'll be fully honest with you, Junkie XL's theme for Aquaman wasn't my favorite. I almost felt like his theme needed to be the guitar theme because that's just kind of Jason Momoa's badass character, and his was kind of very triumphant and kind of kingly, I guess you could say, with a brass kind of sound, the very orchestral sound. And I thought that was an interesting take. I dug it. I thought it was a very good theme. I just don't know if I was a composer, I'm not sure that would have been my move for him, because at that time he's not a king yet, and I don't think it should be very brassy. But that's me being very nitpicky, right? Like, this is how good that film is. I'm nitpicking the hell out of it to where this is something I would have tweaked, a little different thing I would have done. But still such a very, very cool scene with Aquaman showing up to save the day of the Justice League, and as the Nightcrawler is crawling up with the Justice League team, which here's the issue that I've noticed, once again, kind of continuity error. Wonder Woman doesn't fly out of there. And that, once again, this is not on Zack Snyder. This would have been on Patty Jenkins, technically. Or I guess you could say Jeff Johns, because he wrote Wonder Woman 1984 with Patty, that she could fly at the end of that, kind of showing their way of trying to show that, it's not really part of the same universe, I guess you could say, or trying to move away from the Snyder cut. But yeah, I mean, there she uses her sword to hang on to the Nightcrawler when in Wonder Woman 1984, she apparently can fly. So kind of interesting there, that, I mean, if we didn't see Wonder Woman 1984, that would have been, we would have saw Zack Snyder's Justice League first, so that would have been a huge issue. But, just something I kind of notice now that kind of bugs me as I watch the film. But Cyborg leaves them behind while there's still, flooding, but he at least gets them out of the danger zone, because he's obviously going to go get the mother box, because he realizes, oh, this is what Steppenwolf is looking for. But we get to this. Oh man, this was such a cool scene. So go ahead and get to the next slide, Corey. So Steppenwolf goes back to his base at, I think it's in Chernobyl technically, and the mother boxes, the two that he has, are trying to talk to him and let him know that they've discovered the anti-life equation. Which, if you guys don't really know what the anti-life equation before, it's kind of hard to explain. I was like, I kind of knew what it was, but I did like some extra research just so I knew I was kind of like saying some of the right things. But essentially, you probably can hear the dog, but you have the anti-life equation was a like transcendental mathematical formula that was originally said to basically take away people's free will of any sentient race, right? It's the thing that Darkseid is searching for, so that he can control everyone of the universe, because he wants complete dominance over the galaxy and the universe. And I think it first appeared in the comics, I want to say in Forever People #5, which was like 1971, which was by the great Jack Kirby, who created Darkseid and that whole new God's world. But one of the cool things, and I think I was thinking about this, and one of the like storylines suggested that one of the key ingredients of the anti-life equation is love. And it's something basically like, if manipulated properly, basically love can be used against people in order to like rob them of their free will. So it made me wonder if that is how Lois is the key to Superman's control, because he uses love against him when he kills Lois, as we'll see eventually in the next chapter with a flash forward scene. But I think that was
what it always is, love being the. No,
all you need.
I felt her.
I felt her. She couldn't. It seems in your anger you killed her. That's so funny. I thought that was interesting though. And another thing that's kind of interesting, if we're just looking at comic book references, but it's like in Martian Manhunter's comic, I want to say it was like volume 2, 32, 33, it's something like that. The Martians have something called the life equation, and Darkseid actually goes to Mars at one point and learns about the life equation, and he theorizes in the comics that if there's a life equation, there must be an anti-life equation. So it makes me wonder, because we have Martian Manhunter in Zack Snyder's Justice League, if at some point in the future, if we ever got a Martian Manhunter series or movie, if he knew about Darkseid because of this situation, if there was some little hints there that maybe it was the Martians that gave Darkseid the idea of the anti-life equation. So I'd be curious to see if they ever go through with that, because it's kind of a cool idea if they did. But we'll kind of go over that over a little later in the future chapters. But Breezy Beast says women got that power over men. True. If I denied it, my Wonder Wife would kick my ass.
Ask the Wonder Wife.
You want to talk about how powerful women are? My wife, the other day, the Lucifer teaser trailer for season 5 part 2 came out the other day, and I was going to do a trailer reaction for you guys, and she had texted me literally right before I was about to do it, and she was like, "Don't you dare watch this without me." And I was like, damn it. All right,
Babe, bedtime.
don't do that, Corey. Don't do that, you punk. Baby bedtime. No, I'm my own man. Oh man, but yeah, some cool stuff about the anti-life equation. I kind of dug with how they did it in this film. I would love to see them expand on that more, maybe in the New Gods film if they ever did that, or maybe if we do restore the Snyderverse with, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and the other films. But you get a quick little scene of Silas Stone. He's going to be in quarantine, as the people arrive from Star Labs, because he's been around aliens. They got to do that. It's part of his protocol. Go ahead and switch to the next slide, Corey. But you also get Cyborg returning to the Justice League with the human mother box that helped create him. So it was just like a quick little clip of that kind of helps propel their story a little forward. But in our next very, very cool theme here, Steppenwolf alerts Desaad of his recent anti-life discovery. Corey, man, you already know this scene just gives me chills just thinking about it. Is the first mention of the multiverse in the DCEU. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah, Steppenwolf says that the anti-life equation is the key to, controlling people of all free will throughout the multiverse. Interesting, huh? So the Apocalyptians know about the multiverse. When I heard that, I was like, damn, this just got a whole bigger problem of that. I mean, the fact that Darkseid knows that, you have to think, okay, well, how's he, what is he going to do with that information? What is he doing with that knowledge?
How do they know about the multiverse, and what can they do with that? So if there's multiverses, then there's multi Steppenwolfs, right?
Maybe
Darkseids.
Maybe. I'm trying to recall in the comics if they ever did, different versions of Darkseid. I don't know if there is. I'm trying to think. I always felt like there was always one Darkseid kind of within the storyline. I don't know. I'd be curious about that. But here's the question for you guys. What is your theory about Darkseid knowing the multiverse or the Apocalyptians? What do you think that means? What is that potential? How did he learn about the multiverse? How's he going to use that to his advantage against the Justice League, maybe in future films? I think that's the fact that the multiverse was mentioned by Steppenwolf. To me, that's scary, because it's damn, if they know about the multiverse, and obviously Darkseid wants to control everything, he obviously has a plan then, I would think, to control the entire multiverse, which is insane, but it's really, really crazy that they did that. But Desaad, after learning about the anti-life equation, summons Lord Darkseid with beautiful Ray Porter's voice. My goodness, man, when you heard the music, boom, boom, were you not jumping every seat? Oh my God, this is so cool. So cool.
For me, I was like, holy shit, that's Darkseid again,
yeah. You got Uxas, but now you got Darkseid. And the first time you hear his voice.
Yes, and what a way to just feature him again, because man, Zack Snyder, woo! We got the very beginning portion of the history lesson with
Mhm.
Dark Side. And I kind of thought that might be the end of Dark Side in this movie until the very end of the movie where they tease at him, like
Yeah.
similar to how like what was it like Marvel having Thanos always be like the end scene credit
Post-credit
for
kind of
like
thing.
Avengers or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And here we go, and we had Darkseid come up again, and now we hear him talk, and he's like Steppenwolf,
Yeah, and it's such a great scene because you get all the parademons, go ahead and go to the next slide, Corey, I believe. You get the parademons bowing to Darkseid, but you get Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf, who in his own right has been pretty badass throughout this film. He's taking down the Amazons, he's taking down Wonder Woman, and here he is. He steps back in like, oh my God, here he is, like Lord Darkseid, and he does this. I love that Zack showed this through a physical standpoint of submission when his armor kind of, like reveals his body as he bows to Darkseid. Like that, to me, it was just so cool how he did that. And it really sets the the respect that Darkseid commands amongst his people.
As well as being scared, like he, showed his neck right away, and he's like, I ain't trying to,
jaw dropped.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I because clearly we know that at some point Steppenwolf did maybe consider the idea of removing Darkseid of power, and that didn't work out, and he was punished for it. And now he knows that like there's no chance for me to take down Darkseid, not even with Steppenwolf discovering the anti-life equation. He could use it for himself, but no, he's letting Darkseid know about it because this dude owns me, basically. It's a crazy scene, and I just love, oh man, that quote that Darkseid has is phenomenal. But Yellow Devil says, no, Darkseid is one guy among the multiverse. That's what I thought too. I thought he was one guy amongst the multiverse, which is kind of interesting. Like, why is he one guy of the multiverse? Why does the multiverse not create more of him in the comics? It's never been, I don't know, has that ever been specified? I'm not sure. But Breezy B says he got the 3 sorcerers working for him. Yeah, 3 sorcerers. I like it. Ildo says he exists and fights every Superman of every Earth, but is always the same guy. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I thought. Agreed. One Darkseid. Yeah, I think Darkseid is, kind of thing. I don't know if they've ever explained in the comics why he's only one. I don't know. I'll have to look at that sometime.
Because there's multiple Batmans, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Technically, there is different Earth Batmans, and I think obviously different Earth Flashes and things like that. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the type of species Darkseid is, being the the kind of the Titan that he is. That I just don't know. I don't know why he is the only one of his throughout the multiverse. But it is cool. That scene was dope. Yeah, I love that quote that Ray Porter says in it, where he's just I think was it, I will stride across their bones and bask in the glory of anti-life, and all of existence shall be mine. Like,
you're getting better and better each time you do that, dude.
Is it getting there? I wish. Ray Porter, I know I keep saying it, that man's voice is like, it's like music to my ears. I get chills. Literally, I can always feel like my shoulders be like, oh my God, Darkseid. Like that voice was just so perfect. I hope he plays it again. He really does deserve it. His voice is so perfect for it. But Breezy Beast, what Earth are we in? In terms of Zack Snyder's Justice League? I don't know if it's ever been specified, but last I heard the Batman Matt Reeves film is considered Earth 2 is what they've called it. So that makes me kind of assume that maybe it's Earth 1 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm not, or maybe technically Justice League, depending on how you look at it. Who the hell knows? I don't think it's been officially stated yet, at least through, maybe it'll be confirmed in the Flash film. But yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I really do dig that. But yeah, you have this great scene with Darkseid, but now you get the Justice League showing up at Wayne's hangar, and you got Cyborg. You kind of learn that he's speaking to AI, that he is able to figure out how the flying fox isn't working, how to fix it through the system problem it's having, the software issue. I thought that was like, it's just like a subtle, quick way of just kind of showing what Cyborg's character is capable of. Here's Bruce Wayne, who's a brilliant mind. He created that gauntlet that can, absorb the energy of the plasma blast from the parademons, but he's struggling to put it together. And here Cyborg is like, yep, I got it. I can take care of this. Like it's just a great scene. But you get this discussion. I really dug how Zack did this. And I know he's a huge fan of King Arthur and, the tale of the Excalibur. I kind of got the feeling, even though it's a square table, that he kind of, the way he filmed it, like, going all around the Justice League, it was kind of giving this idea of like Knights of the Round Table, talking about how they're going to do their next plan of attack. And I mean, did you get that kind of feeling, Corey?
Justice of the Square Table.
Justice of the Square Table. Yeah, get out of here, you crazy man. Oh man, yeah. But you get this like super cool. They're discussing their plan of attack with the Mother Box because they're also curious. I mean, they know Cyborg knows a lot about the Mother Box. How does he know about it? So he kind of goes into this history lesson where he talks about the Nazis finding the Mother Box, which to me that was very interesting because if you guys recall in the Wonder Woman film, the first one from Patty Jenkins, in a deleted scene, she showed the team that Wonder Woman was with, like Charlie, Chief, and Samir, that their next plan, or at least mission, was to find this Mother Box. So that would have been, I think technically that film took place in 1913, 1914, because it was World War I. It wasn't World War II. So it was kind of interesting that here we are, the Nazis, clearly that team didn't find it, or maybe they were searching for it and they are the team that gets it. But the unknown object, I'm sure some of you guys have heard about this, the unknown object 61982 is a reference to the Tales of New Teen Titans, which was the first origins appearance of Cyborg that came out in June of 1982. So I thought that was kind of a cool little nod that Zack did to that comic. I always love those little Easter eggs when you get them. But it's just that great way that Zack kind of really showed Cyborg's power throughout this film. And you had he did that wonderful, it was like a mirror scene of what we saw in Batman v Superman through the cameras that of the files from Lex Luthor's hard drive. But you had Silas, trying to research, basically with the Mother Box, with the arrival of Superman, they were trying to, look at alien technology, and he uses it to save his son, as we kind of saw in the previous chapter. But I loved how Victor Stone, this was brilliant writing in my mind by Chris Terrio, where he says the researcher, act of desperation or madness. He's constantly having this internal battle with himself where he was referring to his father as the researcher, this person that was saving me. He never really says he's his dad until the end. So it's that constant, he's trying to not break that barrier. He's trying to distance his father, keep him away. And yet always in the end, he has to accept it. Nazgul says it was reminiscent of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Nazgul. That's totally true. You nailed that right on the head. That's brilliant. It definitely has that kind of that feel to it. But it's the Mother Box that Silas uses after he is able to activate it for a short amount of time to save his son Victor, as we see in Batman v Superman, and kind of get another kind of perspective on it in this film. So that makes the team wonder if it can bring Cyborg, at least transform him to where he can live, and if it can take matter and re-transform it into life, can it save Superman? And you get the great Hans Zimmer theme with that little hologram of Superman. That was so cool. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Corey. That was... Before
we move over, so the picture on the right here, he's walking through Germany.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to have to rewatch it again because I missed this portion, but I heard somebody say that the yellow banner, I know the Cyborg comics kind of blocking it, but I heard the yellow banner in the back is like a GCU banner. So I'm going to have to, are you aware of that, Trey, or, am I thinking of something else?
A GCU banner in the background?
Yeah, like, so you see the Cyborg comment?
Yeah.
like right behind it, supposedly that yellow banner is like a GCU banner, is what I thought I heard, but I'm gonna have to.
I thought I saw a Nazi flag. I don't know. That's a wonderful question. Now
Or
you got me questioning it.
There's something, yeah. I think there's something about that there. So, I thought I heard somebody mention. So,
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, I pulled up that old picture that I was working on when I was making that, and yeah, you're right. It is a GCU banner. So that's interesting. So it transitions from GCU into Germany.
yep.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
right. I thought that was another cool aspect of this scene and how it's kind of a mix of everything, that
yeah.
is a part of Cyborg.
Oh, then again, though, are you saying Nazgul? Like, see now I'm questioning what I watched. Was it just in the early trailer before Zack turned it into a Nazi flag? I mean, see, now I have to watch again. Hey, another excuse for me to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League now for the 21st time.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, that's a good catch, Gray. I didn't think about that. But yeah, so you get this. They talk about bringing back Superman to life, and you get that great Hans Zimmer theme of the two notes, bum bum. That's just phenomenal, and I love the way Bruce looks at that. And you can tell there's like guilt behind his eyes, that it's like he knows like this is the thing he has to do. He has to fix this thing, this wrong that he has done, this mistake that he's done. But you get this next really cool scene that we were all waiting for ever since Zack was teasing the Snyder cut. You get this really beautiful scene where Lois receives a visit from Martha Kent. Why did you say that name? With Diane Lane and Amy Adams. Just a great scene where, Lois hasn't been back to work, since the Daily Planet, to the Daily Planet since Clark has died. So that would be, oh my gosh, like 2 years. But I guess she still holds a place. I'm sure she would. I mean, it's Lois Lane, Perry would want to keep Lois and kind of understand that she's going through, she's mourning the death of Superman, at least. I don't think he knows about her and Clark, but, it's just this beautiful, heartfelt conversation where Martha encourages Lois to start living again, to move on, to be a part of society, and just that wonderful encouragement and support that they kind of give each other. But I honestly, I was watching that scene recently, and there's subtle things that I noticed where it seems like the emotions that Martha does in this scene aren't exactly genuine. It kind of feels forced in a way, and maybe a little over dramatic, or maybe too reactive. And I wonder if that was done on purpose, because as we see in the very next shot, that Martha Kent is not Martha Kent. Oh, sorry. One more. Martha Kent is not Martha Kent. She is actually Harry Lennox's character, the Martian Manhunter, John Johns.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Some subtle things they did there. And I know some people were kind of unhappy with that, because it kind of takes away from what Martha and this beautiful moment that Martha and Lois have. And I can understand that. I think that that's a fair criticism to have, but it makes me wonder a bigger theme. First off, this scene was also filmed in the driveway, of Zack's house. Crazy enough. But Martian Manhunter says, "The world needs you too, Lois." And it kind of just made me wonder, why is he so hell-bent on getting Lois back to the living, to life? And honestly, it works out perfectly in the time that you'll see in the next chapter. She's there to bring Superman back. It makes me wonder, is Martian Manhunter aware that Lois is the key to maybe stopping Darkseid because of Superman? What's your guys' thoughts on that? Is Martian Manhunter aware that Lois is the key? Because if he has telepathic abilities, he can read Bruce's mind. He probably has read Bruce's mind. He's read everyone's mind, and maybe he's a part of that future timeline. Maybe he knows. Maybe in some weird way, Martian Manhunter is aware of the future nightmare scene that's coming, and knows Lois's role is important. He's kind of trying to put the trajectory of this timeline, on track. What do you guys think about that? Corey, what do you think about that?
I'm going to kind of go back just slightly.
Yeah.
First, what an amazing scene between, Lois and Martha. And, Amy Adams did such an amazing job. I just remember her facial expressions and just like, she didn't say much, but she said a lot with her just facial expressions alone. And as far as the, kind of moving on to this topic now, I think that, people's feelings about, not really liking this portion and saying that, they really wanted it to be Martha, a special moment between Martha and Lois. I understand that. And when I first thought about it, I kind of wish that was a moment that they had together too. But, after seeing this scene right here, him, seeing Martha come out and then turn into Martian Manhunter and then turn into, I forgot the actor's name.
Harry Lennox plays General Swanwick.
Yes, General Swanwick. But, they also spent a lot of time together throughout the movie, specifically Amy Adams and that character. So they have a bond as well. So I think, yes, there's probably a little bit of both, that he does know that she is the key, especially for Superman. Mm-hmm. But I think, I like how it, he kind of morphed back into, his human self and of the general, and was like, what? The world needs you too, Lois. And mm-hmm. I think that's saying, yes, he knows that aspect, but there's also more to it. They've had a lot of special moments between each other as well. So
yeah, I mean, she has kind of helped him throughout the Snyderverse with Man of Steel and BVS to kind of trust Superman, because even in Man of Steel, you can tell there's not a lot of trust that Swanwick has with Clark and with Kal-El. And he's very hesitant about him. He's not unsure about him. He never lets his guard down around him, just with that great scene where, and Zack didn't have a plan to make him Martian Manhunter yet, but I think it's wonderful that you had that scene with them at the glass and it's mirrored mm-hmm. of each other, kind of maybe, just a brilliant coincidence that Zack did. But even in BVS, where he's like, don't try to, make a conspiracy theory to put back on his halo over yours. He's still holding that reservation on Superman, but she has really kind of helped him along this way of realizing that Superman is exactly what this world needs. He is the hope, right? He's the one that can save the world and bring it to that next place of humanity in a way. So it is a great scene. I'm just very curious. The fact that it just seems weird that after 2 years to now, this instant, he could have done it a year ago, but now he's coming to her and say, you need to come back to the world. The world needs you. Why? Is he aware of like future plans that he needs to do to kind of make sure it happens a certain way? Just makes me wonder. Happy coincidence.
So, I think so. And we're starting to get some really great comments here. So let's start with a funny one first.
He knows Trey's secret weeding cut addiction. You got me. Shit. Guys, I have to quit the Bat Channel now. Excuse me. Fuck the weeding cut. Oh, man. So Yellow Dove says he knows Darkseid's goal. He must know a lot of things beyond our knowledge. Even Steppenwolf's discovery wasn't hidden from him. Yeah, I think you're on to something there, Yellow Devil. The release of Snyder Cut guy. That's so funny, dude. I just love your name and your profile picture. It's just so great. That's insane. I think you're right, Trey. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to be good ideas every now and then. Lois Lane, she's the key. You have always been right about him. Fear him. Find us, Bruce. You have to find us. Yeah. To me, We please, please, we have to restore the Snyderverse. I need to know what that scene was about. That was such a great, powerful scene, and it's like, man, it's just crazy to think. And we'll talk about this next episode. I don't want to get too in depth with it yet, but this Speed Force is having effects on people that I think is very interesting. And I know some of you probably have kind of guessed it or have, kind of put it together, but next episode really will kind of talk about the effects of the Speed Force and those around him, because it's very, very interesting. But I think Martian Manhunter is aware that Lois is the key. That's my theory. I think he's very much aware of the nightmare scene and how Superman is the key to Lois's heart and evil. He might have the hots for Lois. Maybe that's what it was switched. It was originally supposed to be Bruce and Lois, but it's actually gonna be General Swarnwick, John Johns getting it on. I mean, she maybe that's a Lois thing. Maybe she has a thing for aliens. Like, oh, you're from out of town.
So we're gonna get a little bit of a Smallville Lois Lane where she's dating all of the Justice League.
I hated that so much. Like, literally everyone in the Justice League was banging Lois in Smallville. Like, Aquaman had it, Arrow had it. I'm pretty sure Bruce probably had it at some point. I was just kidding. I know you really like that show, Corey. Oh man, but you had this wonderful moment, but then you get the Justice League continuing their discussion, and I loved this scene so much. And I know this was I couldn't find a picture of this moment, so I had to use this clip. But to me, it kind of fit. You can tell in Bruce's eyes that he has this mission. He knows what he has to do, no matter the risk. He needs to bring back Superman to fix his wrong, right? And I know, oh man, a thought just popped up in my brain. Oh, that could be cool. Okay, so you've seen my brain like go crazy. This is what happens to me like every time before I do a show with you guys, and I'm trying to think of cool things to say to you.
I don't mean to pry, Trey. I do.
I must. But I was thinking, so Bruce is weighing the risk, right, of bringing back Superman, and the mother boxes have stayed asleep because they were afraid of him. And when they are awoken with, bringing back Victor to life, it stays asleep because that technically Superman was still around at that time, and it doesn't fully awaken until Superman scream that we saw at the beginning of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that's why it was called to Steppenwolf to find the mother boxes. And I love that Bruce had that great line where he's like, there are 6, not 5. There is no us without him. A thought that just popped up in my brain in the comics. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the issue this happened in, but Superman and Batman, Corey knows I love these bro moments between Superman and Batman, but there's this one really, really cool one that I want to say happens when they're at the Fortress of Solitude, and Bruce and Superman are having a conversation, and Batman has this great line where he says, the only time you inspired anyone lately was when you died. It's something like that. He has that great quote with him. And it made me wonder that if in the nightmare scene at all, or nightmare movie that they would make, if Bruce would ever say to Superman, like, I should have just left you dead. I should never brought you back,
Wow.
That could be a crazy scene, kind of something similar of that tone where he's just like, yeah, you would have served the world a better life if you just stayed dead, and we'll definitely get into that nightmare scene when we get to that part, because I have some theories on that that I can't wait to share with you guys. But this is where this part ends, with the group deciding that it is the right thing to do to bring Superman back to life using the mother boxes, even though awaking the mother box will call to Steppenwolf, and it will put them in this very dangerous situation, but they have to go for it, because as Batman says, if we do it this way, we're just losing slower. We have to go for the dangerous play because it's our only option to win. And I really dig that whole scene with Bruce and everybody, because it really does showcase their character quite a bit. But I'm excited, man. Corey, what'd you think of this part 5?
Wow. So many great scenes, so many special moments in this one. Like we got to learn. I think what was great about this one was we finally got to see the Justice League start to work together, start to form. Obviously, clearly starting back on the rooftop, and then the fight scene, and they really started to have some moments together where they were trying to figure each other out still. They're still some things aren't quite working, but some things are working. They're trying to figure each other out. And, once again, I am just so happy. Can't talk. So happy that, Zack Snyder really conveyed to us the team building that was needed, the unity of it all, because before it was just, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, together.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's other players, and these other players are, huge. We didn't get that in the Justice League. We saw, really Wonder Woman, working it well here for the most part. And, it kind of seemed like in the 2017, it was really just Wonder Woman and some Batman, here and there. But, Zack Snyder did a great job, really, with that backstory. Once again, this couldn't be done in a 2-hour movie. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you that when the studio really pushed, I mean, who knows with the type of film, and I'm not defending Josh at all. If he was not forced to do a 2-hour film, because he did unforgivable, things in that film with the characters, but I'm just saying, take out the unforgivable shit. If he was given the okay to make the film, right, and not have to worry about a fucking runtime, what would the film have been then? I'm probably sure he would have came up with some of the same shit, but like, it just tells you the studio did not have the patience to really do this film right. And it makes me worried for the future of the DC or whatever fucking multiverse, which is not really a multiverse. They're choosing to just move on with their universe and calling it a multiverse so they can reboot it. Like it's just one of those things that Zack just keeps doing an amazing job with character development for each of these characters. Oh no. Okay, now I guarantee this is Yellow Devil switching his name in his account. This has to be. So Trey's weeding cut addiction. Oh, fuck me, man. Question: how did Zack plan to make the Superman black suit when Warner Bros. Didn't even approve it? Can't really hide that from your bosses. Okay, so pretty sure it's you, Yellow Devil, or Trey's weeding cut addiction person, whoever the fuck you are. Just kidding.
I hope it's Whedon himself.
Hey, if it is you, Josh,
a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Huge fan.
Jesus. So what Zack did with that was so the studio forced him to film everything in the blue and red suit, the classic Superman suit. He went in on the back end with his editors and digitally color toned it down to black and white. Black and silver. Yeah. So can you imagine the studio like, what the fuck is this, Zack? And he's just like, fuck you. That's
I do what I want.
I do what I want. Fuck you. Like, read a comic, you dumb bitches. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, sorry, I'm cursing up the summer. See, when it comes to Warner Brothers, I can't hold back on them because what they did was fucking stupid. But guys, the next chapter, part 5, All the King's Horses, is going to be a fun chapter to talk about because there's a lot of goodies in that, and I'm excited to chat with you guys about that. Let us know in the comment section if you have questions for us for that next episode. If there's things that you guys are already wondering that maybe you want us to tackle or go into, so that way we can maybe even do a little more research for you guys and kind of break it down a little further. But let us know if there's something about part 5 or even part 4 that maybe we missed that you guys would like us to kind of talk about next episode as well. But I love doing this, Corey. Like, this has been really fun because you and I mean, I always felt like you and I never really got into like the philosophical meanings of like movies and stuff like that. To you and I usually kind of just enjoy it, and then we'll talk about like things that we wish were different or something like that, or things we really like. But I don't think we've ever actually dove in deep into films, before. And me personally, I really enjoy this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, buddy. And it's I would say it's been fun for me as well, quite a bit, because typically with movies, I I'm kind of your average movie bro, like I just go there, I enjoy it. It's something that I don't have to think about, I just enjoy it and I watch it. And it's been fun. In reality, this has been my first time really diving in and thinking deeper about what the meanings and of what different scenes meant, what different interactions meant, what key Easter eggs were in a spot. And it's definitely been a fun, and it's definitely been a pleasure to do it with you, buddy. And who better to really analyze my first film with than a good old Zack Snyder Justice League movie. So the GOAT himself. Dude. And I've been having a blast. And
it helps you appreciate the film more, I feel like.
Yeah. This Zack Snyder's Justice League is always going to hold a special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah. I still get emotional every time I watch the film, because it's still like, oh my God, we're here, dude. Like we can watch it whenever the hell I want. I can play the theme that people said was not possible. It's such a cool thing. And guys, I just want to say thank you so much for spending 2.5 hours with us, just geeking out about Zack Snyder's Justice League and just really breaking it apart and sharing us with some of your ideas and some of the things you noticed about the film. Like, this is what it's all about, like just enjoying basically art, and like discussing it, talking about it. How does it make us feel? What do we think it means? And hopefully it,
And I think one of this is funny because Nazgul just said lots to analyze, good stuff, and I completely agree with you. And it's funny. I in the pre show when Trey and I are talking about the incident, I know that all of your time who are watching right now, it's extremely valuable. Yeah. And we always shoot to be like, all right, let's try to keep the show to an hour. Let's try to
I'm so sorry. I know you asked for it to be an hour too. And I was like, oh yeah, I made the script smaller. We're doing part 1. And then you and I just got so deep into it and we're like, oh fuck, dude, it's 2.5 hours.
And it's okay because it's great conversation. We're interacting with all of you guys, which I absolutely love. Yeah, life's busy right now, but we're doing this for you, everybody. So again, please definitely like, subscribe, and share. I'm having fun, so much fun, doing these things with you. And I think it's talking with you, Trey, but when we have the interaction with the fans from all over the world, we have Brazil, we have Germany, we have all these different places, the Bronx, just shout out to everybody who's coming in and talking with us. It's incredibly hard to keep these at an hour or shorter, or shorter than 2 hours. We're past the 2:30 mark. I should probably stop rambling, but thank you guys. This has been a blast for sure.
I agree, man. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you also hit that notification bell and reach out to us about that For Autumn's Light Shines On video that we're working on for Zack Snyder and everyone that made the Zack Snyder's Justice League possible. It's going to be really cool. Like you said, we have a celebrity guest that's going to be in it. This video is just going to be cool. I get excited thinking about it. And we're putting in hard work in it because we know that's what this community deserves. That's what Zack deserves after, 6 years of fighting, 5 years of fighting for this film. It's what our subscribers deserve as well. We want our subscribers to be a part of this too. So please join us on this mission and this community project. And we want to show up for Zack Snyder when he needs us. Absolutely. Yeah, well said, Corey. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe, and that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And I'm your host, Trey.
And I'm Corey.
Don't forget to tune in weekly.
Same bat time.
Same bat channel. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.